Hello YouTube. I wanted to do this short video to give anyone who's interested in buying the Honda CRF250M a bit of an idea of what it's like to ride. It's just over 600 miles I've done on this bike. It's due for its first service tomorrow. And another reason for doing it is that after the first service they're going to fit a DEP or DEP aftermarket pipe, well, full system actually, so I'll be able to give you a kind of before and after of what the bike sounds like. The standard exhaust, it's pretty muted as you'd expect, so not particularly super moto, but it's not a big deal. But it's going to be interesting to see what the new pipe is going to be like. Anyway, why did I buy this bike? Well, it's a good question. The reason I bought it was because where I live, as you can see, is quite rural, lots of country lanes, lots of B roads, quite bumpy, quite twisty. In the winter they all get covered in cow muck and mud and, you know, just really bad conditions for bikes. And when it rains, it's even harder. And I had a Pan-European to ride around on last time, and it wasn't a very pleasant experience because the road surface is so dicey. And I just remember thinking at the time, God, I wish I had a trail bike or a supermoto or something like that. So anyway, I thought about getting a supermoto, a big sort of thumper, 600cc KTM SMC, something like that, or CCM, whatever. And I also thought about off-road bikes. Off-road bikes, of course, aren't really road legal, and you have to get them sorted out to be road legal. And then the big sort of capacity kind of supermoto bikes, a lot of them are pretty expensive. You look at even a 10-year-old bike, you're looking at least $2-3 grand, for a bike with no warranty and maybe no service history. So I was thinking, I don't really want to sink that kind of money into a bike that I know nothing about. Plus also people talk about lots of service issues, they're a bit fragile, blah blah blah. Anyway, I happened to spot this bike on a Honda dealer website. I'd never heard of the CRF250M before. I knew of the CRF kind of dirt bikes, which are obviously off-road use only, but I didn't know they did a road-ready bike. So of course it immediately got my interest, because you've got the sort of supermoto looks, you've got a 250 engine, it's got really good fuel economy, it's easy to ride, it's a commuter bike, and that's mainly the kind of riding I do. I commute every day, so I wanted something that would sort of cover quite a lot of different bases, wouldn't cost too much to run. Purchase price wasn't very high, and they were also doing 0% finance over 5 years, and it was kind of a no-brainer really. I've got another bike, a road bike, a VFR 800, which is a brilliant bike. I love it, but I didn't want to ruin it over winter, and frankly it's not great over bumpy country tracks or bumpy B roads. It's just not really in its sort of best environment, whereas this bike is just perfect for it. It's also brilliant for the city, commuting through cities, going in and out of traffic, cutting through lanes, lane splitting or filtering as we call it in the UK, is just really easy, because it's pretty narrow. I mean, you can see the overall kind of width of the bike, and the bars are the same width as the mirrors. And it's just so maneuverable because it's based on a CRF 250 dirt bike. You've got the same, more or less, kind of geometry and the same kind of position for the rider and the sort of centre of gravity. Of course, it's got 17-inch wheels on to make it, to supermotoize it. If any of you are wondering, this is an identical bike, almost identical to the CRF 250L, which is a dual sport bike. Which I know is widely sold in America, in the USA. I'm not sure if this bike is actually imported to the USA, but it's pretty much identical, other than the fact that the wheels are different, the suspension travel is slightly different. I think this bike is about 20mm lower, and this bike has got firmer suspension, I guess because of, you know, higher speeds and road use, but to all intents and purposes they are the same bike, apart from a few details. But overall I'm really pleased with it. When I first started riding it I thought, oh, this is quite slow, but you kind of get used to it, and then as you run the bike in and you get more confident with it, you realize you can really shift. You know, it's fine, it's only 23 horsepower, but you kind of get up to 60 miles an hour, and around here that's plenty. You know, for the roads that I ride on every day, you can't actually legally ride it more than 60 miles an hour, because I don't really hit any dual carriageways or motorways, and that suits me fine on this bike. So you can ride within the limit very easily, and it's, I have to say, it's a real hoot to ride this bike. It's such fun. It's great round corners, it handles beautifully. I think I might change the tyres. It comes with IRC road winners, which I've never heard of before, and you might think, oh god, they're going to be crap. They're really not that bad, but I haven't got much to compare it to. But I suspect I might, you know, change to I don't know, maybe some Continentals, or, you know, maybe something for the winter, some sort of winter spec tyres. Anyway, I've kind of droned on enough, but I really just wanted to tell people that if you're kind of thinking a 250 is way too small and not at all interesting, and you just won't have any fun on it, you couldn't be more wrong. It's one of the most fun bikes I've ever ridden, and I get about 80 mpg, which is UK mpg. I guess that's imperial. I don't know what that is in USA figures, but that's really good fuel economy. And I you know, I'm not the lightest person around. I weigh 95 kilos, which is about 15 stone. I don't know what that is in pounds, 205 pounds or something. And I'm 6'2", and I guess if I was a bit lighter and a bit shorter, I would probably get even better fuel economy out of it. So that's a very brief overview. I'm going to quickly start the bike up so you can hear what it sounds like with the standard pipe on. Prepare to be blown away by the roar of this engine. Well, that gives you some idea of what it sounds like. I have to say that I've got a warranty claim on this bike, and I've noticed that the exhaust is splitting. I don't know if you can see just under there, there's a weld, and it's just coming apart, and the exhaust is actually blowing. So I was a bit surprised at that, because, you know, you expect Honda to be pretty much perfect, but it's, other than that, reliability, yeah, no issues at all. It's been amazing. So that's me. That's a little overview of the bike, CRF250M. If anyone wants to ask any questions, feel free to message me on my page, and I'll report back with my new aftermarket exhaust and see what difference it's made. Anyway, over and out. Thanks very much for watching.